Today, I try and be honest with you on problems, on work that we are doing. Okay? The work that we did yesterday, the day before, I said that it's not super easy because there's a lot of multiplication. There's a lot of work involved with it. Today's is not easy. And I'm warning you, I'm not joking with you or anything. I'm telling you that it's not that easy. You really have to pay attention to understand it. Okay? Today what we are going over is what's called guess and test, which is the same thing as guessing and then checking to find out if your guess is right. For example, in the other class, I was standing in the front and I had Gabby in the back. And I said, how far is it from me to Gabby? And one of the kids in there said, oh, it's about 15 feet. I went and pulled out, Miss Galley had a ruler, yardstick, and I said, here, take it, let's measure. I stood here, moved the yardstick, moved the yardstick, moved the yardstick, all the way back 15 feet, and it wasn't far enough. Okay? But the thing was that was a guess, and then we tested it. Found out we had to go more, okay? In the other class, she's not as far as what Carmen is. She's more about where Cece is. And found out that it was about 18 feet instead of 15. Okay? So it was a guess, and then we tested it. Okay? Today what you are doing is a guess and a test. And first of all, they have on page 56. This is where you have to follow along. 56, I'm going to show you, go all the way through it with you. Then we're going to do 1, 2, and 3 on the other page. And you'll start figuring these out. Okay? On the first one, it says a factory ships headphones to stores in cases of 48 and cartons of 12. Case has how many? 48. And a carton has 12. Okay? Now, in other words, if Liam has a store and he's got headphones at it, he's got a T-Mobile store, and at the store he's selling a lot of headphones. He says, I need to order 24 more. Okay? How is he going to order them?
I think he's gonna buy 2.
He's going to buy 2 cartons. Suppose he says, I need 36.
Yeah. He's gonna buy 3 cartons.
He's going to buy 3 cartons. What happens if he says he needs 60?
Oh.
60. Cece?
1 case and a carton.
1 case and a carton. Okay? Not too bad, right? That's pretty easy. You're catching on?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I told you in 5th grade the numbers go a lot bigger. Okay? And that's what's going to happen here. Because the factory ships headphones of 48 in a case and 12 in a carton. Okay? Today, 6,912 of them are ordered. Okay? And there are 360 packages. What that means is when Cece did the one saying that we were shipping 2 packages to Liam's store, 1 of this, 1 of that. That would be 2 packages. Okay? They're going to ship 360 of them. And this is how many headphones altogether that are going to be there. The first thing that they decide is, hey, let's start out with 60, and this is done in the book for you. 60 cases and 300 cartons. Cases, and they have you write it down. cartons? And we got the grand total. And I'll show you how this works. All right, 60 cases, 60 times 48. Now, can I just skip and put a 0
Yeah.
and then start multiplying 6 times this? Okay? Because if I don't, I'm gonna have 0, 0, and then I'll have a 0 down here, and then I'll be doing the same thing. 6 times 8 is 48. 24, 4, 28. So I got, and 300 of the 12s. Didn't we do something with this where 3 times 12 and do what? And add the zeros. 3 times 12 is 36, and then add 2 zeros because you got 2 zeros. I'm blocking your view. Okay, so now I've got 3,600. If I take the 3,600 and the 2880, 0, 8, 4, 6, 6480. Did I get the total number of headphones out that I need to?
Yes.
How many headphones am I supposed to send out?
6,912.
How many did I send out?
6,480.
Is Liam gonna be happy at his store when he orders 6,912 headphones and he only gets 6,400? No. Is this over or under? Under, okay? So I need to come up with some bigger numbers, okay? They then decide, hey, let's go to 80. If I have 80 of the cases, how many cartons am I gonna have?
200.
How many cartons am I gonna have?
200.
Why do I have 280? Because I've got a total number of packages that I gotta ship. Okay? 80 plus 280 is still 360. 60 and 300 is 360. I gotta keep this number, these two, adding up to 360. Okay? Then I gotta get this number to 6,912. These are my two numbers that I'm keeping focus on. Now, as Riley is telling me, 80 of the cases is gonna be how much?
9,840.
And how much?
40.
40? And how many for the cartons?
3,760. Wait.
3360. Now, if I add those up, 3840, 3360, and end up with 0012. Ooh. I went over?
Yeah.
So I got, what does that tell you? Where I've gone under and I've gone over, right? So it's gotta be somewhere in between, okay? What they decide is to go to 75, is it?
Yes.
Well, if this is at 75, remember I gotta get to 360. Then they find out that it's at 285. If I multiply the 75 times the 48, what do I get?
3,600.
3,600. And if I multiply the 285 times the 12,
3,120.
and if I add those two, 3,600, 3,420, I end up with 7,020. Now, is that number close?
Yes.
It's still close, but it's just a little over. Then they decide to go to 72. And if one is at 72, the other is at 288. That means these two numbers still add up to 360. Then you end up with 3456 and 3456. This was 7020. And when I add 3456, 3456, end up with 12, 11, 9, and 7. Huh? No, I didn't need to carry. And now I have the number that I'm looking for. And I still have 360 packages. Okay? Now, if you were doing this, you might go to 73 and you'd have 287. Okay? And then figure out, oh, I'm even closer. And then drop it down one and add it up one there to figure it out. Okay? But that's how they're doing that. Okay? Then we move on. And we have a bakery on the next page.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
In the other class, we figured out that this was Dante's Bakery. Do I have anybody in here with a D? Their name?
We can make up a name.
I'm David.
Oh,
I know a kid. I know a kid. I'll be Duke.
No.
I've always lived to Duke.
Right.
We'll do Jonathan.
We'll do Dante.
Right.
Now, up at the top, on page 57, says Dante's owns a bakery. We called it Dante's Bakery. He wants to bake 246 loaves of bread each day. I told Dante when he does that, he's gonna be sweating because those bakeries, you got the ovens going, it gets awful hot in there. But it's gonna smell delicious. There are 15 loaves in a batch of rye and 14 in the wheat. In a batch of wheat bread. Okay, you're gonna use this information for 1 through 3. David wants to find out how many batches of rye and how many batches of wheat you must bake each day. We're going back to our chart. We got rye. We got wheat. And we're gonna have the total. Let's start out with something super simple. 10 and 10. Now, in this case, it doesn't say that you have to have a certain number of packages or a certain number of whatever. You're just coming up with how many loaves there are. And we're trying to get to 246, is it?
Yes.
Okay. So if we have 10 of the rye, that would be how many? 10 times 15, 150. Then we got 10 of the wheat, which would give me 290.
90.
Okay?
A little too high.
I went what?
A little too high.
Little too high. So I gotta bring it down some.
Probably around five.
Let's go to
8.
8, okay? I'll go with that. I'm gonna go 8 and 8. So we have 8 times 15 and 8 times 14.
So it's like 5 times 8.
40 be 120, and here we're gonna have
No, it's
32. 3 would be 112. So we got 120, 112, 32, which is 2 less.
So 9.
Now, if I have 232 loaves total, and I need to get to 246, how far off am I? 14. How can I get 14 more?
Add 1 to the wheat.
Add 1 to the wheat. So if I leave this alone, I get 120. Add 1 here. 9 times 15 is going to be, wait, wheat is 9 times,
935. I mean 135.
how about 126? Because if I have 8 here, 9, all I'm doing is adding another 14.
I was looking at the other one.
Now you have 126. That's the same thing as multiplying 9 times 14. If I did 8 and just add the 14, because repeated addition,
Oh.
more than one way of doing things, okay? I get this, now I have 246. This, I now have what I need for Dante's Bakery, all right? Now, in number 1, it says David wants to find out how many batches of rye and how many batches of wheat he must bake each day. If you make guesses and strategies to help him, what guess would you make first? What did we make first?
10.
10. It was something easy that we could do quickly, okay? And we found out that it was
Not it.
not it,
Close.
close, but what was it?
Over.
Over. It was over. It was too much,
Oh, yeah.
okay? That's number 1. Number 2,
What was number 1?
how many batches of each must David bake? What's the answer?
8 rye, 9 wheat.
And 9 wheat. What was our first guess?
10.
10.
So number 1.
Yeah. Number 2 is we went to 9 and 8. Number 3, a special order comes into Dante's Bakery. Oh no, they got a special order. Special orders don't upset us. Oh, you're ordering it special? Special delivery? Okay, you got having a big party? Am I invited? Okay, good. He needs to bake 391 loaves of bread? You making
That's a
sandwiches
lot
or
of
is everybody just eating bread?
Yeah.
Is it prison food?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna eat that
Yeah,
much.
it's every
food.
single type of bread
That's
ever
a lot.
made, so you could have it.
No, he's only got 2 types.
Yeah, it's salted too. No,
He needs to bake 391 loaves on Saturday. He still plans to bake the same number of loaves per batch. So it's still gonna be 15 rye and 14 wheat. Okay?
Oh. Okay.
How many batches of bread will he need to bake on Saturday? Well, if we already know that 10 and 10 is 290, and he's gotta get to what? 346? Three,
391.
391. What do we wanna go to?
12.
12?
15. 11.
Let's try 12 and 12.
12 times.
Honestly, think
Sometimes
12
12 is like.
I literally.
15.
No, but you have 12 times 15,
12 times 15.
and then you have 12 times 14. 2 times 15 is 30.
30.
Yes.
Bring down my placeholder. Then I have this 1 times 15. 15. Do I really need to multiply in that? No. So I get 180 for the ride. And then 2 times 14 is 28. Bring down my placeholder. 1 times 14.
14.
So I'm at 8,
6.
6, 1, 8.
That's not it.
It's a little too.
So now I got 168,
We're not too low.
180, yeah, 8, 14, 348. Now, we could keep guessing and checking back and forth, but let me show you something. Let me show you something that may help. You have 391 and 348 already made. So if we subtract, we end up with 43. I need 43 more. Nope. How can I get to 43 from these numbers?
No, let's
15 times 8 would make 40. What?
If I have, no,
5 times 8.
Cece, I have 14 and I have 15. How am I gonna get to 43 with those numbers?
Wait.
Ryan?
With 15, it would be 2. Well, you get to 43 by 3, because that would equal 45. And with 14,
But that's too much.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
If I do
Even
3
if
of these,
it's
if I,
three.
listen, and then I'll come back to you. If I do 3 of these, that's 45. That's more than the 43 that I need.
Wait.
If I do 3 of these, that's 42. That's not enough.
What?
Kane?
It's 2
Wheat
wheat
and
and 1 rye.
2 wheat and 1 rye. So I'm gonna now have 13 rye and 14 wheat, right?
Wait.
So if I have
Yeah.
14 times 14,
I'm so confused.
Oh,
and I have 13 times 15,
Just pretend like you know what you said.
yeah.
Oh, no, I knew that.
no,
Ah.
before with Cece,
That was 50.
I told, when we were talking about Liam's T-Mobile shop, okay? He needed 60 headphones. And you had them in packages of 48 and 12. How could I get 60 to him?
Wait. 148, 112. I think it was.
If I had 1 package of the 48 and 1 package of the 12, he has 2 packages coming and he has 60 of them getting there,
Did anybody else hear that?
okay? Yeah, that's what you're gonna do in music next. So, here, I know that I have 43 loaves left to get, okay? And I bake them in batches of 15 and 14. If I do 3 more of the wheat, that's how much? 42. Is that enough? No. If I do 3 batches of the rye,
No.
that's 45.
That's over.
That's over, it's too much. But Kane said if I do 2 of these,
1 more.
that's 28. plus one of these, 28 plus 15 is the 43. Now, if I multiply it out, I have 45 placeholder and my 15, which is 195. And here I have 16, 56 placeholder. So I'm gonna have 14, 96, 195. And if I add those, I end up with my 391.
Wait, so for number 3, it's 13 rye, 14 wheat.
13 rye, 14
That
wheat.
much bread.
I need that much bread, Harper.
He's having a big party.
13 rye.
All right,
Dante's Bakery.
on to number 4. How many rye? 13 rye and 14 wheat.
What was number 2?
Number 2?
Number 2, you needed 8 rye and 9 wheat to get to the 246. Number 4, what are the two whole numbers have the same? What two whole numbers have the sum of 68 and the product of 1035?
Wait, hold on.
Copy and complete the table to find out. Explain how you can use guess and test a strategy for the two numbers. Now, the first one they did going across. You have to come up with they have to come out to 68 and what was it? 10. So the first problem, they decided to go with 35 and 33. Equals 68. That accomplishes this. But when you multiply 35 times 33,
It doesn't.
you get, what is it, 1155? So this is your first one.
It's over.
It's over. So the second one,
16, 8, no. Not it.
the second one, they tell you 25
30, 40,
plus what
43.
equals 68.
It's not
43.
43, I already tried that.
So then you're gonna have 25 times 43.
It's not it, I already did it.
And how much is that gonna equal?
It's in the street.
1075.
Huh?
1075.
1075? Wait, that's close, but not quite there. Okay?
40.
So then they do a third guess.
23. 23.
What do they have?
They have 45. 45 plus 23.
45 times
45 plus 23 equals your 68. 45 times 23 equals
Oh, yay. Yay.
it equals it.
Yay.
equals it.
It equals it.
Yay.
Wait,
Yay.
45 from 23? Wait, so, wait a second.
Did we have to explain?
I'm not done.
Mm.
It's fine. She'll be like,
I
this
just
is
said
that.
I'm doing this one.
I kinda understand it. But I don't like doing it, it's too long.
And there you have it.
So
But
46,
books,
5, and
Now,
70.
number 5. Penelope puts her coin collection into an album. Okay? She fills 28 pages like the 2 pages shown with coins and puts 8 coins on the next page. How many coins are in Penelope's collection? How many are on one page? Look at the
At
picture.
least 12.
18.
Huh?
12.
12?
12 on one.
And how many pages does she have?
28. She fills 28.
So we
The
got
answer in my book says
56.
344.
Wait, is that the answer?
Yeah, somebody wrote it down.
Okay, that's what mine says the answer for number 6 for me.
Was it?
It's like 145 stuff.
336.
He was wrong.
Add 8.
Here she was
Because
wrong.
you
Wait,
have
can we
to-
put-
What? Wait, Kane's telling something.
And then it says, and then she puts the last 8 coins on the next page, so you have to add 8.
Add 8 to the
And there you have it.
344.
344
That's exactly what the
Kane
answer
points.
says.
Now, moving on to number 6. This is the last one I'm doing with you.
Oh no.
The others you can figure out. Number 6. Library has 145 shelves of, what is it,
Fiction.
of fiction?
Wait, can I be the library?
Of fiction. Yeah, we're at CC Memorial Library. And
I'm
she's got,
the library.
and then there's another 359 of the nonfiction. Now, I want to show you something, but I'm not going to solve this one for you. Okay? There are 2 ways to do this. Please watch. Okay? One way is this is the fiction and this is the nonfiction. There's 145 shelves and there are 39 on each shelf, right? And there are 359 shelves with 39 on each shelf, right? And that's how you would figure that. You're going to get your answer and an answer and then add, and that's going to give you your total answer.
Wait,
Now, if I know that there are 145 shelves here and 359 shelves there, how many shelves are there altogether?
There are 4, 10, 5.
504 shelves, right?
And then can you do 504 times 39?
Now you're thinking.
Times 39.
This goes back to the reasoning of that there is more than one way to solve some of these problems. Okay? You can either multiply this out, get your answer, multiply this out, get your answer, and then add the 2 answers. Or you can add the shelves and then multiply that by the number of books that are on the shelves, because it's the same number of books on all the shelves. Okay? Does everyone follow that?
Yes.
Do you see, Ryan, do you see where there's 2 ways to solve it? Do you see how, if this is the fiction section, and there's 145 shelves, okay, with fiction books on them? 1 shelf, 2 shelves, 3, 145, okay? Big library, CC Memorial Library, huge. It's in downtown,
Downtown
Trinity.
Trinity.
It's a small little place. Elfers, up in Pasco County, it's a small little town. They got 145 shelves of books there. 145 with 39 books on each shelf.
I got up to
Okay.
19,000 so couldn't.
There's also the nonfiction section, another section. There's 359 shelves, each with 39 books on it. Now, I can multiply this and get an answer, right? I can multiply this and get an answer. Then if I add these two together, I'll find out how many books there are altogether, okay? Now, the other way is to add the two shelves, the two totals of shelves together, okay? So I would be adding the 145 and the 359 together, like I did here. I'm gonna get 504, okay? Because that's the number of shelves there are. If I multiply all that by 39, because it doesn't matter if it's nonfiction or fiction, it's still 39 books on each shelf. Then I can have the total number. This should be the same number as I get here also.
10, 19. Yeah, we didn't even get snack.
Okay.